Welcome in! Here are the crystals if you want to choose from just these guys. Otherwise, we'll get some bird cards to go for each. So, pile number 1. The Moonstone has 2 Sneekos, Raven and Blackbird. I like the and in there, like, and Blackbird. The bird that is black. Pile 2. Ooh, they're coming out quite quick. Tree Pipit. We're gonna need to make room. Hey, let's do it like this. Pile 3. The Tiger's Eye. I don't know what crystal pile 2 is. I wonder if pile 4 is gonna only get 1 card. So pile 3 has the Yellow Wagtail. And I feel like I never get Peregrine Falcon. Nice. I love that. Nice. And pile 4. These are all coming out really swiftly. Well, particularly 1, 2, and 4. We have, what are you? A Nuthatch or a Nuthatch. It sounds like unattach. Hey, look how similar they look. So similar. Bluetit and Nuthatch. Oh, there's so something to be said about that. Oh no, it was 2. Cool, I kind of like that kind of quirky feeling. So, those are your piles. See you at your readings. I think I'll do a collective too. But first, yeah, okay, first I'll move these away. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, I forgot to move my stuff around. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's take him away. Cool, collective time. Hello, collective. Collective of gobbles. Let's get a card, then I will. Then I'll let you go. We have Moots one at the back, and also, what's this cute guy? Sharon. Red kite. I love a good red kite. Hey, look what's in my pocket. Wait. Don't look inside the pocket, but I'll bring it out. It's a red kite. Okay. I want to light this here candle. And with this here candle, I want to give some fire flame to the incense. These guys are so chunky, it takes so much to ignite. You may be dealing with something that takes a lot of fuel to get going, or it feels chunky, it feels worth it, it feels special. Bird of Prey also gives that, as well as Seren, which continues to remind me of stars, because Seren in Welsh is star. And yeah, that gave you a bit of that, like, I heard serendipity, and that unique starstruck, I just heard too, starstruck feeling. Interesting, it's like it's wanting to take a form of its own. I thought maybe it would want to... I heard collaborate, but it wants to take on a form of its own. You may be moving from more of a co-creative energy into a more personalized energy, but it doesn't feel so personal. It feels more like your own master, your own integrity, your own coordinations, your own flight, your own view of the universe, your own form of expansion. Moving in the way that you feel connected to. It feels very like you're very connected to your guides at this time, and that... Wait, let me see if this... Let's move. It feels like you're getting things in order. It feels like you're listening to yourself and your needs, and you're going with the flow. You're going where you're called to. Yeah, there feels like a strong sense of calling here, but it doesn't... Actually, I don't want to say it feels strong. I feel like it is, but it doesn't feel like an overwhelming kind of message. It feels like you're being called somewhere, and it's gentler than maybe you expect it to be. It's like it feels big. It feels like something that you knew that you were going towards, or that you feel a strong connection to accomplishing or to moving towards. And yet it's also petite, it's also darling, it's also nourishing to you. You feel more fed than taken from. There could be a sense that with this kind of thing you expected to feel more drained, or you expected it to like use up your energy, but in fact you're feeling quite content. You're feeling quite nurtured, quite more connected to spirit is what I keep feeling. You feel like you are more surrounded by friends. That might be it for the collective, but I will see if we have some sacred geometry cards. I guess what I want to say is more like, I know that's not it for the collective, but it felt like a clean-cut message. So either what's to come is like simply adding on to that already full message, or it's a different message, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's saying you've already got it, you've already seen it, or you've already found it, and what's to come is only going to clarify further, and it won't really give you anything that you're not already feeling, or it's not going to take you in a new direction, is the strange message. Okay, why is it a strange message? Yeah, this one. Heart. The frequency of it. Maybe you are used to the heart changing more, and with this number 4, it's like you're solidifying your heart more, and that's why it's strange, because it feels like you're expecting a change of heart. However, it's actually something that is forming, something that is only continuing to add on to the already existing heart. For some of you, this is a message of like you're in a loving partnership and you're questioning like, when's it gonna change course, or when am I going to lose my love for them, or when are they going to change their heart? But this is a confirmation that it's based upon solid ground. It's based upon a true love connection, as opposed to attachments from distortion and from shaky ground. In other words, there's still so much expansion that can be had in this area. And if that isn't resonating for you, then this could be that thing that you're feeling called towards, like the thing that you're looking towards. It has a lot of, what's that? Like potential. But I don't want to say potential in the way where it like won't be fulfilled. It's just more saying this can go a long way, or your heart is really in this and it's not changing. Yeah, I think your heart is fixed on something. Your heart has, I want to say, yeah, attached. Your heart has attached to something in some way. You're recognizing the love that you feel for something, and you're only continuing to feel this love, only continuing to explore this. Yeah, this is something that can continue to be looked into more deeply or experienced more fully. This is the kind of thing that like only gets better with time. That's the feeling. Only strengthens the love with time. Okay. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. Yeah, I feel like that here. There's a sense of harmonizing the mind and body. It felt in the body, it's like there's an air of stillness, or it's not quite stillness, it's more like health. It's making me think of Hygeia, the asteroid in astrology. So that could be key in understanding the truth of how you're feeling in a certain situation. Like you could use your synastry to look at Hygeia with either that partner that we mentioned, or whether this is a future project, like you can, or an old project, or or you just your own chart. But I liked the idea of mentioning synastry with a creative project. Okay. There's a bit more. Where do we go from here? Yeah, that feels a bit like what you're experiencing. Where do we go from here? Maybe you've reached a threshold that you often don't pass through. It's usually like a door that's closed that it feels more like the end of the road. And in this case, it's actually that you can open the door here. Yeah, there's like I want to say that word again, expansion. Or a meeting of hearts, or something where you have found something that you get to continue to explore. That something you get to continue to love. Ooh, I like the way those came out. They slid out. So we have this guy. This guy. Oh, I love him. Was this the one with the back? No. Is it this way? No, it's definitely this guy. This gay. Okay. Could be something about that. Gay. That's just making me think of happiness. Yeah, there's so much joy. And this makes me think of like an exploration again that you haven't experienced before, or it's not necessarily something you haven't experienced before is what I'm getting. It's just like the higher level of it you haven't experienced, or there's a degree of freshness, of newness, of health, of rejuvenation with it that it brings. And the final one. This is the one with the back. This feels like a purse and a cauldron is what I heard. I'm gonna drink some water. I heard you're looking congratulated. I actually didn't hear that directly. I heard something like you're looking, and then another sentence started, and it was like something to do with congratulating. You're looking congratulated. Yet you're forming two things together. And it's like they began in two ways that you wouldn't expect to come together. Like they're different sentences, but when they're formed together, they surprisingly fit, or they're surprisingly innovative. It surprisingly works. Because I had that message of strange again before. But my response to it was like, is it strange? So it's like a combination of it being undiscovered, but also be like completely fitting. This makes me think of a break, and it feels again very inventive. It feels like innovative. Like it causes like a lightning bolt, and I'm seeing the star at the top. Like it causes I like that. It causes hope within others. It's like it shines a light. It expands the idea of what is possible. But I want to say, for most of you, I'm feeling like it's not necessarily that the powerful part is in the like mind-bogglingness of it. There might not be a mind-bogglingness of it. It's like the power is in its gentleness. The power is in its like truth. I'm getting an example of two elderly people who are in love, and their relationship is just an inspiration because they're so clearly in love with one another, and it's just so heartwarming. And I don't know why it had to come through in that way, but that's what I'm getting. And I'm also noting how I said, I don't know why it had to come through in that way. So that could be significant for you too. I want to put my lapis lazuli, which I have beside me, under the wing of the red kite. There could be something of like taking something or someone under your wing, but it's the dark blue intuitive aspect. So this could be yourself, or this could be another. It's the part that represents and that other could be many things too. Something extremely, I'm hearing delicate, even though that's not what I usually get from lapis lazuli. There is that energy here. It's like there's a sort of love, a sort of power, a sort of project, a sort of relationship, dynamic, experience, energy that it's so powerful, but I don't want to say that word powerful because it feels so sweet, or it feels so much gentler. It doesn't feel like it's actually anything out of the norm. It's just so simple. There's a togetherness that is like unquestioning. There's an invitation of simplicity. There's an invitation of love in the kind of way that a small child like hands out their hand to be held. Like there's no malevolence behind that. There's just a simple, of course they don't have an ulterior motive. It's just they're extending their hand. There's a really true love feeling here. And there's a bit of excitement too, like I can't wait to continue to explore this, to continue to experience this. And again, I'm slightly hesitating towards that word of excitement because it feels so true. It feels so... like excitement feels swangly. It feels like there's lots of sparkly energy around, but this doesn't... it's like almost making me feel like it's above yourself, excitement. But this feels so true. It feels so within. It feels so peaceful. That's the word, peaceful. Something just is. And you feel this. Even if you're not fully experiencing it yet, you already feel it. Such peace. Okay, cool. That's gonna be where I end the collective reading. I can feel a lot more that can expand off that, which is literally what this is again. It's like you have one thing, but it's gonna keep expanding, keep going. And it's not even like keep going in an unexpected way. It's quite expected. This feels quite predictable. Like you can see where it's heading. Because again, it's like it's just expanding off that same one thing. It's just the heart that just can continue to be felt. Continue to be like nestled into. I love that. So much love in the collective. Just put Mr... I want to call him Hawk then. No, Mr. Red Kite back in my paper pocket. Why paper? Red Kite back in my paper. Maybe you want to write letters. That's what paper is making me think of. And Red Kite can be associated with a drawing through energy, which feels like writing. They can probably be associated with writing too. I just can't think of if that is so true in the moment. This moment. Yeah, there's something about the presence so strongly here. Okay, let's get to pile 1. Welcome in, pile 1. Sometimes I don't feel like really settling into energies or taking my time. But with your pile, I really feel like taking my time. I feel like I was very close to not saying like welcome in and just sitting with your energy or just really looking at all angles of this crystal. So you chose the moonstone, the blackbird, and the raven. I feel like there's something very inquisitive that wouldn't usually be described as that. Maybe there is something that is watching you that you wouldn't expect to be watching you. And I'm noting now that I'm wanting to really stroke this moonstone. And moonstone can speak so much to intuition. And it makes me think of the unseen. And these energies definitely correlate to that. But it's really drawing my attention that both of the main birds are really looking in our direction, in your direction. There could be something that's transforming that is correlated to you. Okay, let's get more cards. I heard alleviate the pain. Some people look to you to alleviate their pain. In in an extravagant way. I also want to note again, it's like it's not just a raven or a blackbird, but it's two. And the raven is seen looking after its chicks, feeding. It's watching as we watch it nourish others. I almost said kill others. So there's a lot about transformation. Maybe what you maybe your form of nurturing is far more cutthroat. Or maybe this is a message even from a passed over loved one we'll get, maybe. Because I'm seeing this like they could be dead. This could talk a lot about death. However, they're still watching. I love that. Yeah, that's a very predominant message for some or a lot of you. Cat. Yeah, that's making me think of otherworldly. Independent. You are a natural healer. Again, that with that healing energy. Your intuition is strong. Yeah, that moonstone, definitely. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. Every way. Life supports you in every way. What is that about the word every? Some people could connect with the name that sounds like that, like Avery. Ivy. Moss. I heard another word. Cilia? Sigmund? Let's keep going. Okay, I'm actually not gonna keep going quite yet. Oh, we have more healing at the back. Unicorn. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen world. Yeah, this is about someone in particular. Either they have passed over and they feel so taken care of by watching you, and they also feel like they are taking care of you through watching you. There's like a healing exchange going on. Or this is someone who you would define as living. However, they may be feeling quite dead, or they feel like they are transforming. I want to say there's quite like an array within this collective. There's a spread, and you might actually resonate with all of them. So you could be healing towards those who are transforming in like a very I want to say graceful way. Those who are really embracing your healing energy. I wanted to say words then. But it's more like your direction. I think your eyes are extremely changing. You change others by the way you see them. Your perspective of them causes a shift within themselves. Some of you might strongly resonate with being mediums, and when you connect to those in spirit, you may find that a lot of them are able to take on more of a natural form, as opposed to needing to condense themselves or to shift the way that they present themselves, or maybe in order to, like, for example, be perceived or not scare or give off a certain energy. You would feel like you don't cause that shift, cause that change in them. They can be their authentic selves. And in another way also, I'm seeing with those who have passed over, who are like attached in a more ghost form, that are, I can see this going in many ways, but like more energetic imprints, or souls who are struggling to let go. And I feel like simply your gaze, simply your awareness of them allows them to leave, allows them to move on, allows a shattering of the illusion of fear. you help people take steps forwards. I'm seeing with my hands, I was kind of making a step-by-step process, but notice that I did it with my 3 middle fingers and not my pinky finger, which feels like it's not so much about the physical. I think we're talking about primarily, again, yes, we could be talking about those in physical who resonate strongly with an ethereal expansion or transforming energetically, but for the most part we're going to be talking about those in spirit that you're connected to, those that many would consider formless. Okay, yeah, it ends with 3 knocks in the center, because again, it's not like you're trying to move the energy, is what this is feeling like. You're not trying to like look at who they could become or how to find the way out for them. It's a simple recognition that you have without even trying. You could try, but I don't think that that is necessary, and I don't think that's what you do. I think you simply see them. You simply see the middle. You see the center of who they are. And that is more than enough of a pathway to a true freedom, a true liberation, because that is to say the self, that is to say connection with who they really are. I really do keep wanting to fiddle with this moonstone, which is making me feel like any intuitive hits you get, or just simply it's more like the way you naturally present yourself, the way you naturally feel drawn to interacting. It does more than you might expect, or does more than you might experience yourself. Like you might recognize certain shifts that have happened because of your influence, but you may not understand the fullness of all that you create through your simple vision. But the message I was trying to get with it was an encouragement of doing what you feel drawn to doing. Some of you also feel like you need to learn more than you do. Again, I want to bring it back to the power is in your simple sight, your simple awareness. So it's kind of like just playing with spirit, just playing with the idea of who might be around you or what someone is. That is enough to cause like radical change. That is enough to heal. I feel like I keep using that word healing, healer here. So you may really resonate with that term, or you may come to. You may also really resonate with cat energy. Maybe you've recently had cat past lives that you're still very connected to, or maybe you simply feel a strong resonance with them, or maybe soon you'll start seeing lots of cat energy pop up around you. You may also have a cat companion. I'm feeling more in the spirit realm, but this could also be physically. If you resonate with having like a I can't think of what the normal word for that is. Not sidekick. That's making me think of Wallace and Gromit when Gromit is in the like sidecar. Yeah, I feel like you have. Maybe you have 3 in particular, actually. 3 sidecars, 3 side Gromits. Not totem, not spirit guide, not companion, but it could be all these words that you resonate with, but there's like a specific one. I can't think of it. Maybe it will come. Okay, where was I? It's coming back to there's nothing that you need to learn to do what you are wanting to that feels so expansive to you. I felt a connection to my heart just then. So I feel like there's something you love surrounding interacting with the unseen, and you may still feel like you don't know as much as you did in past lives, or you don't know enough in some sense. There's this feeling. And this could be subconsciously too, if you're feeling a block of some kind, consciously or subconsciously, with your connection to spirit, to the unseen. It like the quote unquote unseen. I never fully like saying, or at least lately I haven't liked saying the unseen, because it's like, it's not unseen. It's just a different expression of the scene. But the message is that you already do. You already have so much power, because it's giving, like, in other lives you may have practiced certain techniques, because I feel like there might be a thing within you, within your mind, that says, I need to know the techniques though. But there's a strong message that you don't. You can if you want to, but I feel like this is coming through for you, and the reason why I keep stroking the moonstone is because it's something that comes so naturally to you that I don't think you want to. I think you might feel like you have to, but I feel like you so naturally move through the quote-unquote unseen that it's like you already embody all the techniques within your natural being. You don't need to be like consciously, I don't know, I just got the image of like saying a spell, and there's nothing wrong with saying a spell. It's not to say that's not powerful, but it's just to say that there's kind of a sense of feeling beyond that, or like, I want to say more within that. It's like that's already incorporated in your simple aura. Again, I want to say more like your eyes. Just simply the way you see embodies so much like mystical knowledge, mystical experience. I think your perspective is really powerful here. And with that, let's see if there's another card to come through. I want to know, it's kind of interesting. I thought we might be focused in on a particular soul who wanted to speak to you, but I'm not feeling that like that. And I almost feel like that could have been your intention, like you may have desired to hear from a particular soul or particular guide, particular expression, but I think this is more wanting you to recognize that you already are speaking with them. You've already been communicating for a long time, or you have this like innate ability to do this. Yeah, I want to say don't what's that word? Like, don't downplay, but it's not downplaying. Don't underestimate, that's it. Don't underestimate your natural way of living. But again, I really, really want to draw this back to your eyes. The way you see, it's simply the way you see, it's what you see. It's nothing complicated. Okay, pile one. Woo. There could be very, very synchronistic experiences that you have surrounding the number 1. You may be finding, if you're watching lots of picker cards as of late, you may be feeling drawn to the first pile a lot. I think that's drawing it back to that sense of self, that both you are the power within like the very center of who you are and how you maneuver through life, but also that reflects itself in the power you have in correlation, in relation to others, like seeing their centers too. That is the strong power. Chippy Garnet Boy. So that always makes me think of a sense of empathic protection. I want to use a different word, but the fact that I just went ooh blah blah blah, that feels like, oh, and hey, moving stag at the back, which is like a spirit who helps other souls pass over. So you may resonate with being someone who helps other souls pass through the realms. And there's that message of like, it's not through a particular set of like steps that you need to follow. It's simply look at what has happened and boom, done. Like simply see it. And move as you feel drawn to moving, what feels like you naturally want to do. It doesn't have to be so special or so sparkly or so, I don't know, here's the steps, here's how you help someone pass over. It could be that. Like, I'm not trying to discard any of the practicalities and the steps and, you know, grimoires and cool stuff. It's simply that I'm wanting to say that you incorporate that and maybe slightly make fun of them. Only slightly. Okay. So yeah, the thing that I was saying about the I feel like you may fear that's your energy, or maybe that is your energy, and there's a call to moving with it, knowing that the sense of containing your energy and not being drained or scattered is simply looking at yourself. There's no like special technique you have to do in order to remain with your own energy, or like not get lost in the other realms, or I don't know, I feel like you might have some fears surrounding your connection to the ethereal, or helping others pass over, or helping spirits. But the power is simply in your vision. So if you feel like your energy is being tugged elsewhere, you see, okay, look at what is happening. Where is my energy going? Or you don't even need to do that. You can simply look back at yourself. Who is the authentic self? And that becomes it, because you see it. Yeah, there's something about recognizing the power of your natural self, not needing to force anything. Same goes with any spiritual practice. Maybe this isn't talking about passing over and that kind of spirit realm, although I think it is for most of you. And yeah, any spirit work, there's a reminder or a questioning that wants to come through, whether you do feel like you can simply exist as the authentic you, and maybe questioning what that is. But that feels a bit too overcomplicating. I feel like that might be the energy you get wrapped up in, thinking that you need to do more or think more or know more. But the truth is that you're already enough. You're already very skilled in this area. I feel like saying intention is important, not so much the execution. It's like the intention is the execution. Is that in shot? Not really. Pull these down there. I like that. They go into the darkness. Move you there. Okay, we have slug and fly. The first thing I think of with that is a perception that many might have of slugs and flies being inferior, like a, yeah, I feel like that, full stop. And that when you move into the truth of each creature, there's an entirely different dimension they exist through. I feel like both slugs and flies live a very alternative life. Like they see things far, far more differently than a lot of other creatures might. To humans, that is. Like, the difference is vaster, bigger. And I feel like that could be why humans, at least from my experience, have an association with these two creatures being more unvaluable, because there's like for a lot of people there's like a gap. It's like they can't actually see the truth of these two creatures, so they experience like a numbness towards them. However, when you really see when you're able to twist your perspective to see in such a different way, which is their essence, the essence that they carry, you're able to feel so much value within them because you actually see them. So again, there's another expression of the power that you hold, which is to see the truth of something. And it's simply that, seeing the truth, seeing them. It's not even seeing the truth and, I don't know, needing to intellectualize it or needing to be able to explain it. It's maybe you can do all these things, but it's the power is in simply your relationship, your personal relationship with everything outside of yourself, seemingly outside of yourself, because you feel it, you know something so deeply without needing to get to know it, like as it were. You know something just by looking at it, just by having your awareness become aware of its existence. You feel so much of what it is. You see right to the core. Or you have this strong ability to. And if you are someone who does like to practice or hone in your gifts, then I'd say the most powerful sort of practice for you would be to simply like deepen your relationship with any one individual thing. Getting to know them in like a natural way, in the way that feels good to you. I think there's so much around feeling good for you. What feels like your personal way of moving through life. How might you interact with each individual anything? Whatever that particular thing you're wanting to get to know is. Maybe that's not anything in particular, but maybe it is. Because I think I'm being drawn to my heart again. I think this is all very personal to you. Like that your power is in the personal relationship you have to that which you're seeking perhaps to transform, with going back to those blackbirds and ravens. Because I feel like you like the feeling of power somewhat, and that power being like you have a certain idea of an expression of that. And again, I think the power is in the feeling you have possibly from your heart to another's heart. Or if you're connecting to those that you don't resonate with having hearts, then, or maybe you don't resonate with having a heart, it's a relationship between who you feel you are and who you feel they are. That's the power. Okay. I would say that's it for your reading, but there's like a tiny thing that I'm not quite getting. So, let's see what is to get. There's something so true, not true, but I want to note that I keep using the word true. Some of you might even like to write that down, that word true. It's not truth, it's true. Something that is true. Now I'm seeing, is that a term that one uses in like carpentry? If it's true or not? Possibly that's significant for you. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, it's just something about such a feeling of presence here. It's making me think of like the summer holidays as a child, and I'm actually getting the image of Non Non Biri, what do you call that? An anime or manga. Oh, I guess to explain, in Non Non Biri, a lot of the time it's a slice of life, so it's just like watching the girls play, in very much out in the country, in nature. Okay, pile 1. What do you have? Yours are also coming through your cards when I ask. That does happen a lot for me, but I'm noting it here. At the back of the deck, Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Exactly. That's this. It's accessing your deepest psychic powers, develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. It's accessing that through being with yourself and helping others access this in themselves through simply being with them in the way that feels so natural to you. I want to say there could be like hobbies that you really love, and doing that hobby with others, or incorporating that into, I'm feeling like sessions, but it doesn't have to be like that. Incorporating that which you love, your hobbies, into those times where you're seeking transformation. That could be very powerful, because it's like whatever connects you to you, whatever feels good for you, that's where your power is. Underneath that, I just flipped to see Water Dragon. Very similar energy. Maybe having water around you, maybe you really connect with water, you feel like yourself in relation to water. Helps you flow easily around obstacles. You may help others do this too. Christ's light and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities. Go with the flow. Yeah. I want to hold those up in case you want to screenshot that. And then the 2 cards that you mainly got were Air and Fire Dragon. Expands your creative energies. Harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. That's what I was trying to get at, the hobbies. Like, that which you're passionate about, that. It's like, it could seem so, like, distant from another goal, like a spiritual goal that you have, and yet it's so what connects you to the truth, because it's just connecting you to yourself. It's just connecting you to that feeling of love. And what is more powerful than that? Because that in and of itself is probably what you're wanting to expand in others, because I keep wanting to bring this to others for you. It's like, if you want to help others find their own sense of love, sense of self, then incorporate your own love into your life and have that expand out into touching everyone who feels your essence, everyone who feels your aura, everyone who feels you. Swan, demonstrate grace and majesty. That's making me think of beauty and the arts. Yeah, this is making me think strongly of when you feel your best is when you can help others feel their best. And below that was Orange dragon, brings soul families and communities together, spread belonging, warmth, and oneness, bring people everywhere together. Yes. I'm gonna put these like that. And then you're reading there. So feel free to screenshot if you're wanting. If not, see you in another. I love ya. Bye bye. Cool. Welcome in, Tree Pipit Pile. I wanted to bring my Cetus sea monster little carving guy. I'm not sure yet why, but we shall uncover it together. I really want to add this green unknown crystal to the candle. I'm not going to, but I'm noting it. And it's kind of like, since I can't, I'm gonna hide it. Okay. Actually, I want to put him white. Okay. Let's get some cards going for you. Pile 2. Interesting. I never do that. Have you just experienced a setback, or has something sudden happened for you? Are you feeling particularly vulnerable or particularly impressed, is what I heard? Maybe impressed with... I feel like there could be many things. Okay. What's going on? Let's see. The flame is something. And I'm really being drawn to the bubbles that it's creating. I heard like a scoffing energy. Someone scoffing at you, or are you? I feel like it's you. You're scoffing at something. Or maybe you're experiencing others scoffing at you. Like you're feeling this is a bit of an astral projection card to me. But it also is reminding me, I saw it as a I forgot it again. In Harry Potter, in Quidditch, I feel like it starts with an S. The tiny golden flying ball that like everyone's trying to catch. And I saw that that way in a reading the other day, and I'm seeing it like that again slightly, which feels like a celebration or something really like an achievement. But I'm not really feeling good about it in this moment. Maybe you're scoffing because someone else achieved something and you wanted to achieve it. Like someone else caught the thing that you were trying to catch. There's something about the unseen. It's dropping down. Something about combing and what you catch. I'm feeling like someone else caught something you were trying to catch. And you're seeing it. This might not have even happened. You might be seeing, like, you might be having a premonition of something that will happen. And you're already, like, preemptively disappointed. So this could also be something that you're self-sabotaging with. We'll see. Take it as it resonates. And it could have to do with the matter of the heart. Are you, like, preemptively feeling like you're going to be rejected for for like reaching out to someone, because I was getting like like an unhealthy, decrepit kind of energy from the tree pipit. Like it feels so weak or feeble. It feels like it could easily break, and yet there's so much emotion here because Cetus is. Why am I not getting? Why am I tripping up on that? But again, there's like sight, and this is like a card that always makes me think of manifesting, like drawing something from scattered energy to creating that scattered energy into a formation, a form that we usually perceive as the physical, making something more tangible, more. I heard like appreciable. You're wanting to draw something closer to yourself, but you feel like you're too something. Okay, what is the feeling? I think that's what I want to get. We might get tarot for you too. I want this to be particularly surrounding the Cetus, because Cetus is also making me think of anger. It's a constellation that is like under Pisces, and the head is under Aries. So it feels like a combination of like war, anger, passion, fierceness, but also mind going blank, but also so strongly feeling and so psychic. I often relate it to like the oracle, being an oracle, being a channel, because it feels to me like it can draw from all of Pisces' energy, but it doesn't remain in the like 12th house energy. It has its lower body within that, within the subconscious, but then its head and its like former body is actually on the ground. It's like this. It's the combination. It has its tail in the ether, but it has its body in the former. But actually I want to say the head, which goes with this communication energy, which is like it actually it has the ability to express what it feels. Okay, this is about expressing how you feel, and I think there's insecurity around it. If you are just finding my channel now, I would say there might be some more readings for you, because there's been several about communicating, and particularly about a fear of communicating. So if you feel drawn to it, then go ahead. Okay. So I'll read it. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. I also felt during that, I was wanting to look at my laptop, which is to the left. Okay, that's probably why. To look at my video that is currently uploading, like the previous one, and I don't usually have that. Usually I'll make a video, upload it, and then by the time it's the next day, then that will be done, and there's no scattered energy, in other words. Yeah, I just I cut to the heart, and the back of the deck is compassion. Stand by others without judgment. And I feel like you have so much ready to go, or so much to say, because I feel so energized in your reading. Heart chakra is popping out again. But yeah, I looked to the left, and I was thinking that might be to do with your reading, like something to do with, I don't know, looking to the side or looking at the progress. But I expected it to be on like 90-something%, but it's uploaded, or it's like ready to, you know what, I'll upload it now in your reading. Let's do this together. Back. Oh, it's checking. I can't upload it yet. Okay, that took me for a whirl in a whirlwind. Now I'm thinking of another similar sea monster, who is the sea monster of whirlpools. I can't think of what his name is, or her name. But Glaucia? Glaucia? Anyway, feel free to look up that if you're interested. But it's making me think of like being drowned. Okay, let's I feel like your energy is like you definitely have a part that is all over the place. Okay. So what I got from the looking to the left was that I was expecting it to be because it was to do with the reading, but in actuality it was just because I was psychically sensing that it had completed, I feel. That's the message I'm getting, at least, from it. It's also making me... So you might experience this a lot. I feel like you're definitely extremely intuitive. You might experience, like almost putting yourself down for your... where you're feeling led. Because I'm getting an example of when I'll sometimes feel a draw to my phone. I'll be like... it's like I get a certain restlessness, and so I pick up my phone, and then when I look at it, it's a like 44, or it's a significant time, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. And then I put my phone down again. It's like I never actually wanted to go on my phone, but I was feeling such a pull for it, and it was because there was something, that there was a divine synchronicity there. So there's a sense of here you might be like putting yourself down for where you're feeling called to. And you're not feeling called to there for no reason. It's not actually from an insecurity. It's not actually from a place of being misled or not feeling contentment. Some of you might fear that you're not feeling okay alone. Say this is a draw to towards a partnership or towards more connection with others. There could be a fear that you have of, oh, what if I'm just being codependent? What if I'm actually not okay alone? But there's such a strong message for you of, no, that's not the case. The case is that you're literally being drawn somewhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're not okay where you are, but actually it kind of does. It means that you're sensing that you've found completion where you're at, and you're feeling called elsewhere because you want to expand, you want to experience more. There's a call to recognize that your desire for more isn't... How do I want to phrase this? It can be invited. Like, why can't it? I want to give you more questions, I think. But now that I say that, it's gone blank. Like, I don't actually have those questions. Which makes me think that you might be in the energy of, I feel like I need to question myself, or I need to, like, I don't know, rework something or rethink something. Like, there's more questions to ask, but actually there isn't. Like, or maybe I'll pose that question. Is there? Are there? Yeah. Okay. So to, I guess, simplify this, the heart chakra is what we've got at the back of the deck, which is being put really to the left, which is like the undercurrent energy that you are feeling, that you're experiencing. Coming from the heart, you're getting the call to communicate, which is even coming from like the... So where the draw is from the heart to communicate. That's the head. And then something to do with, like, okay, it's like it, no, I'm gonna skip that for now. The heart's desire to communicate, and what you're wanting to communicate or where to, is the heart again. But I feel like that might not be I feel like the what you're wanting to communicate is no, I feel like this is the intuitive nudge to communicate. These are like my cards of spiritual sight. That's what I'm going to say. Of intuitively knowing or seeing. I think it's sight. I think you might have strong clairvoyance. And I feel like the final card is more of the destination that this is leading you towards, which is heart connection. Maybe this is your heart on the left and someone else's heart on the right. Okay. I do feel a little like everywhere with you, but it's in such an excitement. You have so much energy. I feel like that I feel like you have so much to say. I feel like you have so much to say. Okay, let's get some more cards. Let's get tarot. Oh, and that one. Character cards first, maybe. No, second. Okay. Do we look at fears? Okay, so first we have King of Pentacles. Stability. Seven of Swords. What are you wanting to communicate? Those two cards also came through when I was asking, what do you want to communicate? What do you want to communicate? Woo! I felt a little bit of like a when those cards like slightly moved, like got slightly disheveled. Is that word, disheveled? I'm hearing it so like accurately disheveled. Like I'm hearing every part of it that it makes me question if it sounds normal. Maybe you've got that before. Like if you've already either thought of what you want to say to them aloud, in your head before you say it aloud, or you've already typed up your message. Maybe when you think about it over and over, it's like you can't read it normally anymore. Like you're seeing every single word and you're like, oh my god, is this a normal sentence? Like oh my god, where do full stops go? Okay. Someone is so ready to talk with you, it feels like, because I felt like I then embodied the essence of where you're going. Okay. What am I doing? I'm wanting to like knock on the table, but I think this is more in like a nervous energy. Like you might be really shaky. This might be really shaking you up. It's exciting, but it's also really scary, I think. It kind of makes me want to scream. I really do feel like you have so much energy. Okay, so we have King of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, Three of Wands, and Strength. And I'm not sure fully how to take the Seven of Swords being what you want to communicate. Seven of Swords is a very deceptive card. It usually talks about like doing things like behind people's backs or without really care for others, perhaps, or the way I'm seeing it is like an extreme directness. This also could have to do with, okay, I'm not getting to say that. So I feel like either you are the King of Pentacles, like you're wanting to communicate about yourself, or you're wanting to communicate to a King of Pentacles, which would be a figure who is very sturdy. They have their head finances and their like practical, grounded life all intact, all stable to the degree where they're not only able to provide for themselves fully, but they're providing for many, or they have that capacity to. It's like an overflow of the physical. Yeah, very grounded. So yeah, you're either wanting to, I feel like this would be an essence that, no, it's both, okay. So whichever you resonate with, that being you or the other, or maybe both for some of you. Oh. It's like such an excitement that is so scared in this energy. Like I feel like you might have like heart pounding when you think of communicating. The Seven of Swords can also speak to dishonesty. I'm getting wrapped up on that. And I think the whole point of Seven of Swords is not getting wrapped up in the details, just doing what they want. I want to get confirmation, but I feel like I don't need confirmation. I split to Queen of Pentacles, which is counterpart energy. So I really do think this is about a partnership. Someone you see, especially with me saying the King of Pentacles could be both of you. There's that essence of seeing yourself in the other, and it's kind of wanting to go towards them no matter what. And then Three of Wands is basically saying that you, I think you're wanting to express a future with them. And then Strength is, this is about what you're wanting to communicate. For some of you, you're wanting to communicate the future you see together, that you can be a very powerful couple, a partnership, a relationship where you breathe strength, you breathe a quiet power into one another. I've really been drawn to the lion with its paw on like a magical ball of fire, of energy. I heard we can hold down the fort together. This could also be a despite. So this swords, Seven of Swords energy could be a like Three of Wands. I see a future with you, and it's like despite the chaotic circumstances or the chaotic others. Okay, before I get like confirmation more on these, the back of the deck is Six of Wands. I'm laughing, giggling because I was kind of like waiting to show that, because it's the card of success. And with it being not like what you're wanting to communicate, but the back of the deck, it just felt like a confirmation that this would be successful. Which gotta love reading for those kind of circumstances. But you know what? It's kind of fun to sometimes read for disheveled circumstances, but this just doesn't feel like that. We've got Three of Cups also popping out and Ace of Wands, which just feels like a passionate collaboration, a play that is full of invigoration, and I heard movement forwards, which yes, feels like Three of Wands. It's a desire to move forwards, a desire for new horizons, from It's a desire to leave. I guess this could be what this is talking about, to leave dispassionate circumstances. So they could also be communicating of, oh, okay. Some of you may be wanting to communicate the dishonesty in their circumstances. You might be wanting to show them the way forwards, show them the way out of there. It's like Three of Wands comes after Two of Wands, which is like a being on the border. Two of Wands is like considering what your horizons are, considering where you could go, but Three of Wands is actually being ready, like having seen where you could go and like waiting to step on the gas pedal when the lights go green. It's like you're already in the car waiting, ready. That's what you feel like. I'm really being drawn to a cat. I swear that was never there. And that rhymes, which is all that one can really hope for in life. I'm also being drawn to the sun. Okay, I'm being drawn to that, like, all that one can really hope for in life is rhyming. There's like a humbleness that either is coming through. I feel like you both mirror each other in some way, where there's this confidence, but there's also a humble being grateful for all one has in the moment. It's like this Three of Wands isn't making me think of like needing to get anywhere, especially with the strength. It's like this is that energy you had at the start also, that you were questioning, like, am I actually just being impatient, or am I actually just like wanting something that looks shiny, but actually it's coming from a heart-centered desire to grow and expand with another, or through the journey to them. Okay. Yes and no. I felt with that. What was I saying? Lots of cats. The cat was always there. No, but I was trying to say it wasn't there, but it was always there. I just hadn't seen it before. I hadn't really taken it in before. These three figures, and four, these four figures also all have redhead. All have redhead. Okay, the way I express that. Oh, it's uploaded. One moment. I'm gonna unprivate it. Public. Ching ching. Publish. Cool. It's so fun doing that within a reading. But the reading that comes after this one, whether I presume for most of you it is, you would be seeing it already out. Wait, no, it's not the reading after this one, the reading before this one. So yes, it's definitely out. That feels like that message again with the cat. Like it was always there. A partner in crime. That could be this message, Seven of Swords too. Like you wanting to be partners in crime with them. What was I getting? I was saying multiple things. I really do think that you have like loads of different things to express. Redhead, the way I said redhead made me think of that passion. The Cetus energy too, maybe like passion verging on frustration or anger. No, creativity too, I feel that strongly. So this could also have to do with the desire to create together, and I just wanted to get confirmation on that, and I split the deck to the Empress, which is kind of the most creative, in my mind right now, the most creative card you could get. I think that goes to say, like, I'm picking up on so much you want to do with them, so much you want to say. So I feel like this is there's so much. It's not just one thing. It's like it's the heart that you're wanting to communicate, and the heart has so much. The heart isn't just like one thing, one avenue. It's so much. With the King of Pentacles too, it's like you're wanting to express a sense of stability. For some of you, it's a sense of stability away from your own and maybe their own, because I said that mirroring energy. I feel like you might both mirror this. A stability away from complications, a stability away from those that aren't trustworthy, those who wouldn't have your back, wouldn't have their back and wouldn't have your back. And moving towards, with that sun, a brighter future, a happy life. Maybe with a companion? What is the... Like, I mean, like a pet. So some of you could also resonate with wanting to have children with them, or with wanting to have, like, creative children or animal children. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. The lion has horns. The lion has horns. But nothing that we can't tame. Nothing that we can't channel. I feel like you might both be channels. You might both really resonate strongly with connecting to the disheveled energies, I want to say, and forming them in a peaceful coordination, creating an art piece, no matter how you want to describe that, no matter how that expresses itself, creating art through your ability to channel the wilder side of life. I think what you want to express is finding peace, like despite or through or from the chaos, the negative. I don't know, I don't have words for it, but I think that you clearly know. It's like a sense of, how do I say that? Finding stability, maybe finding the... I'm surprised the Six of Swords didn't come through, because it's a feeling of finding peace after a storm, or finding peace surrounded by a storm. And I kind of feel like there's no point in me expressing all this, because I feel like you know your situation. It's always nice to get clarity, or at least sometimes it's nice to get clarity. I don't have more to say, I think. But I might, so I think I will get some more cards. I was going to say clear all this, but I don't feel like clearing it. I feel like so much tarot could come through for you, but I'm not feeling called to get more. Which makes me think a bit of like, you could get so many answers, those questions that you're asking, probably yourself. You could get, so, I mean, I feel like this might be more to do with them. Wait, but I'll finish my first sentence. But I've forgotten it, so I'm not going to. I feel like you have so many questions, and I feel like you don't want them to be held in anymore. Some of you... No, it's not that. Okay. I'm being told, well, it is, but they just already know that. Okay. It was more about the past. Okay. I want to get an animal card for you. Let's put this tarot back. Oh, wait, I was going to use the character deck. How could I forget? Oh, there's something to do with that. How could I? How could I? Okay, I think I want this to be more momentum or guidance. Oh, do we look at fears? No. Okay. That makes the way I said that, or the way I said the no aloud instead of just having that in my head, makes me again feel like you're such a channel yourself, or you're an intuitive one who already sees, but also maybe gets in their head and over analyzes or over somethings. So this is Kaiman from, I was gonna say Gyoza, from Dorohedoro. The first thing I'm thinking is that he both loses his head, but also kind of takes off other people's heads, we'll say. Nikaido. That was such a bad impression. Yeah, there's like a freedom of speech where it's like, I wouldn't usually try and do a Kaiman impression. There's a sense of play. Kaiman is so serious, and there's so much of that rebirth energy here too. And yet he's also so lighthearted, like doesn't take anything seriously. But he does take something seriously. Okay, we have, again, coming up together. We have Shisan from Rojika Tarakase, and we have, I forgot his name again. Oboro from Gintama. Okay. There's a lot of dark energy here. I want maybe a fourth card. The number 4. Let's do a number deck after this. Okay. So making peace with the past feels like something that could be very prevalent here. Especially since I said aloud my thought process of do I talk about that, something like that, and then I was like, no, they already know that because it was something, not because, but semicolon, it was something about their past, about your past. you here, you there, here and there, everywhere, and more rhyming. I feel like I didn't finish that sentence earlier of the like the humbleness which was coming from the rhyming of feeling like it's enough, like you don't need more, but also a sense of perhaps that coming from holding oneself back. The back of the deck is Hikari, who is a vampire. So that's making me think of energy vampire. That's the first the first expression that comes to mind. Is there room for her? No, there's no room for her. So that feels like a strong message. There's no room for her here. There's no room for the vampire. So it's also really interesting how the first character card, Kaiman, is painted, but the rest of them are not in color. It feels like Kaiman is the beginning of the journey, and as he progresses, he finds himself going down a darker path than I'm gonna say than he intended, and actually wounding himself more than was necessary or more than he expected. It's like he was trying to soul search, he was trying to find who he was, but in the process he ended up, maybe instead of like becoming hurt, he ended up discovering his own hurt, his own pain, his own wounds. I'm also kind of seeing it like these little circles on the Kaiman card. It looks like that prophetic injection. Okay, interesting. It's like these holes that are only like described, then as he walked down the journey became real, like they he found the wounds. I think you've been on a long journey of self-discovery, and you've recognized your own wounding. You've found the parts of yourself that lacked that heart chakra love and compassion. Look, universal love. And I said that number 44, or I said the number 4 is significant, and we have 444. You may be a life path 4 that's coming through, or you may strongly resonate with, and King of Pentacles is also like a very, very firm 4 energy. It feels like there's a strong essence of finding that which is stable for you, finding your own stability, and coming to this sense of peace, which is definitely correlated to the Strength card, which talks all about taming the beast through love. So it's kind of giving off the energy of finding your own quote-unquote beast, finding your own struggles, your own pain, and finding healing through love, through awareness. And it feels like you've been on that journey and come to that sense of peace, and that you're now being called to put that to bed, put those chapters of life behind you, to rest. This also, I want to say, maybe something that is mirroring in that other, in the one that you're wanting to communicate with. And yeah, the final card is the blank one. It's done. And now what do we do? Like Tanaka's namaste poses, like namaste towards the stress of the past, towards the not knowing the self, towards the not loving the self, not loving the other, not loving all that is, and having a respectful relationship with life. And it's making peace with that past, and then choosing that from that we can go anywhere, create anything. And I think that is part of what you want to express. Perhaps a part that you're fearing expressing. I think you might worry that you're more in the prior area of your life than where you're at. Yeah, that feels like simply a confirmation journey of where you've come from. Okay. I think I want to close off the reading with a couple animal cards. I want to ask, what do you know that you're not recognizing? What do you... Love it. Love it. Mastery. Eagle soaring through the skies. Knowing who you are. It's such a solar plexus energy of confidence. It's also making me think of the self. You are on... I want to say that again. Eagle. Mastery. You are on a spiritual journey. You are. Full stop. You are. Am I? You are. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Also, maybe you are spiritual. Because these two, I kept getting confused around those two, which felt quite obvious. So I think that's your energy. If you keep confusing yourself over what you're sensing, over what you're feeling, over what you're intuiting. And again, I'm getting in my head about like intuiting. Is that a word? So yeah, I feel like you keep questioning, like, is it? Am I? Are they? They are. You are. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom. Your spirit, I think, is what I want to fill that word in with. Your wisdom inspires the world. Your spirit inspires the world. Okay. So that was what you weren't seeing that you are. I think. I don't know. You heard me say it probably, maybe. But now I want to get what you are very aware of and that is also true. What you're aware of that is also true. Ooh, love it. It's the solar plexus energy. And the back of the deck is dragon, which is wow, power, magical power. And below, lo and behold, and below that is Puffin, then which is partnership, then Black Jaguar, Old Soul, confidence to create your dreams, and the turtle, which is that of home. Home is where the heart is. Oh yeah, put that there. Okay, and then I just briefly saw horse, which is freedom. Okay, running with the winds of spirit. Peacock, vibrancy. So this is what you know about yourself that is also true. You are you were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life, and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. I love it. 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 Okay, yeah. Namaste. Number 2. That's your pile. That's your reading. I do want to know with your pile, I've wanted to like keep flipping through the cards. So it really does just feel like you have so much to explore, so much you want to get to know, so much you don't want to hide is what I heard. Vibrancy. Mastery. Let's go! Fun. Okay, see you in another reading if I do, and see you never if I don't, or really see you never if I don't. Okay, bye-bye. Now I shall proceed to pack away, and then I will do my usual comment of the timestamps, because I didn't do that when I uploaded the previous video. Just now. Taro! Come here, you. Chunk. There's so much excitement. Yes, yes you can. Someone just got freaked out that I heard them. Gotta love a good telepathy. I love it. I love life. Okay. Okay, let me now get my laptop. And drink. I'm thirsty. Refresh. A new cup. An entire new cup. No! It turned off. When I move my laptop even like slightly. I forgot. But I didn't want to show you my recommended. I was like, oh no, my other YouTube recommenders will show. That would spoil the fun of the mystery. Ah, love life. Okay. Did you hear that? I said welcome in. That wasn't me. Ah! Ching, 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 ching. Wah! I love liking my own comments. Cool. Okay, that's done. Okay, pile 3, I guess. I suppose. Posing. Who's posing? Who's posing and who's leaving? Leaving? Can you even hear me? Ah! Oh, so much to clear from pile 3. Ah! Ah! Jumble, jumble, scrumble. I feel everywhere. I feel like I need to roll down a hill. Hello, pile 3. Welcome. I feel like I'm ready to live in a place that I've never lived before. I'm like in a new kind of tree or in a bush that I haven't experienced, but I've enjoyed so far. Okay, so you have the, I wanted to call it red and black tiger's eye. It's just an ordinary tiger's eye, to my knowledge. What is ordinary though? Okay, let's get some animal cards to begin with. They really slid-flopped out. I feel like you've just cleared a lot. We have fly, slug, bat, and beetle. If you're from pile 1 or you felt drawn to pile 1, I would say that this is a hint towards that. Okay, but this time, and no matter if you're from there or not, I want to say this time you have more. This time you see more. You have the full picture now, and it's a picture that you're quite enjoying. I think some of you are in glee. You're in... Yes, I'm going to say that in glee again. So some of you might take that word in a way that I am not thinking of. I'm just preparing these cards for you. Preparing them. Am I? They're both here in part and also not. It's like you needed to take from the center and not just the outskirts or not just the top and bottom, but actually it was only from one direction, even though you thought that it was both. The here and now is actually where it was all coming from, as opposed to thinking it was out in a scramble. For some of you, you've just cleared something large and you thought that that would leave you feeling more disoriented, or like you expected to look at your reality and see it be different, but in fact it was more similar. Maybe you are in a new environment and you expected to feel like a different person, but you still feel like yourself. Maybe you're feeling a bit tired, or you're feeling fuller, or like you can extend yourself. Maybe you're feeling, there's a sense of bridging something. We have manted. Did I say these? Beetle, bat, fly, and slug. And peregrine falcon and the yellow wagtail. We also have, and then manted and you. Yeah, there's a lot to do with Neptunian energy, or I heard goth, but also thoth, or thoth. Zeta and Maple also want to show themselves. And kind of masculine. Could you even see that when I showed that? Was it even on camera? See, there's something about direction, but like misdirection. Zeta wants to pop out again. This is about your future or the past. It's like something that you thought it was the past. You thought this was surrounding your home or where you come from, but really it's more new. Maybe you thought that you would... I'm really feeling a specific message for you, but I'm not fully in it yet, so I'm going to keep going until I have more of the firm picture. Some of you are having like revelations surrounding where you go when you die. Moving stag is a spirit, like a stag spirit who helps like guide others after death. And I'm seeing that in connection to Mantid, which is... I'm being drawn to like a split in the universe or a split in consciousness. It's like where you go is more... what is it more? What is it more? And I want tarot, because I feel like I need more like concise direction with your pile. Time is at the back of the deck. Yeah, there's something very strong about time here. Okay, let me sit up. See if that's in view, and then we'll get some tarot and then maybe some more animal cards. Okay, I looked up and it was 15151. Yes, you're feeling very in alignment, I want to say. But what you're lining up with is not the same as before. It's like a new sense of what can be, but not based off what has been, but based off what you've already seen others accomplish, perhaps? It's interesting. The energy I'm in for you, it's not that I'm feeling like I'm being a clear channel, but it definitely feels like I'm flowing in a weird way. So how I'm feeling is like you are picking up on lots of different scattered messages and you're putting them all together very well, and you're feeling like you're seeing something more clearly, but you're also feeling like... and you're feeling a certain sense of strength within your own abilities, but you're still not feeling like you have a full picture, or it's like you've jumped into multiple snapshots of different lifetimes, but it's like that they feel random. They don't feel like they fully make sense, or you haven't seen why it was those that you jumped into. Okay. I feel like this is really fitting for those that it's wanting to fit for. Or like, I don't know, I felt a sense of like, I don't get it, but I think some of you do. If not, maybe it will make sense in a bit. Okay. Yeah, there's something about your own core feeling activated, like you really know what you're doing. You really feel at home somewhere, but it's like you feel at home in your own gifts. You feel at home in your ability to traverse different expressions of time, different expressions of yourself. I feel like you're putting together a piece, but I don't know what it is or what it's for, but you know the way, and you're confident in your own way. You're confident in your sight, your ability to see through illusion, see through the dark, your ability to base off like seemingly nothing. It's like using your own skills. It really does feel like if you are from pile 1, right now it's like you mastered the message of that, which for those of you who weren't there, it's a sense of trusting that your way and the power that you're experiencing or wanting to experience has come from your understanding that your power is your connection to your own way. Okay, so pile one spoke a bit more about their connection to themselves, but I feel like that is so strong with you that we don't need to talk about your connection to yourself. This is more about you're feeling like the self has checked off, done, and you're not like looking inwards at stuff. You're more looking outwards at the thing that you're creating or the thing that you're understanding. Probably both. It's like you're creating what you're understanding, and you're understanding what you're creating. And it's definitely weaving seemingly abstract things together, or seemingly like random things. In the past, you may have struggled with feeling like it was just random, that the things that you're picking up on were like too individual, but this time, or the point in life you're at now with yourself, is a trust that all the different pieces, like even when you get them individually, even if they don't fully make sense, you trust that it was a message, or you trust it, you trust what you know, you trust what you feel, even if you don't get the immediate confirmation. I think I need to ask a question for you, but I haven't got to that part yet, which again is reiterating that you're very much trusting the flow that you're in. You're trusting the flow of yourself, your own flow. There's so much surrounding time that I feel like there could have been a puzzle piece that you were thinking of, like it's in the past, but it's in the future. Like if you were trying to connect with like quote unquote past life, maybe it's a quote unquote future life. Maybe for a few of you, you were trying to heal a certain part of yourself and you were trying to look to past lineages, but actually it was future lineages it was being passed down from, connected to. Okay, I just feel like there's such a sense of completion with you. Working from the ground up, I heard. Your senses are really activated. What you taste is more than what you used to taste, or more than something. It feels extraordinary. It feels like you're tasting time, or you're tasting, let's give a cool Funko, you're tasting Black Kite Friend. Spirit. You're tasting spirit. You're tasting the essence, the core of something, as opposed to, let's get another, as opposed to Purple Moonstone. Interesting. That makes me think of the past again. You're no longer tasting the past, you're tasting the truth. Okay, maybe that's when we get cards. The Justice card wanted to make itself known but not come out. So we have Ace of Wands. Your passion, your inspiration, the potential for creation. It is more like creation within the potential. And when I'm saying within the potential, I'm kind of seeing like all that is, not quite void, but a sense of like scatteredness, like chaos, like the primordial being or life force, which it includes everything. I don't know if this is fully true, but I'm gonna say it includes everything, but it's not in any sort of form. It's formless. I want to say it doesn't know what it is, and I feel like you're inspired to work with this. You're inspired to channel the formless, channel energies that are seemingly scattered. At the back of the deck is 5 of Wands. Yes, that is chaos, that is conflict. And I kind of split to the High Priestess, which is channeling, which is seeing. I'm feeling like you're feeling on top of the game with your connection to the other worlds, whatever you describe that as being, whatever you feel that to be. The brightness of the sun just came through. It felt like it created a starker contrast, like the shadows were making themselves more known to me, which again just feels like that, like you're connecting with that which you're perceiving as shadow, or that which others perceive as shadow, and you're making sense of it, or you're working with, you're understanding them, you're bringing light to the darker sides of life, to the darker sides of existence, or of others, or of yourself. But again, I'm feeling like it's less of a feeling of being within yourself and more of experiencing realms outside of yourself, within others, or within that which you perceive as other to you. And it definitely feels like making sense of the chaos and grounding. I split to Page of Pentacles, and I got shown the Page of Pentacles in what is that deck called? Okay, I can't think of it, but it's a very like not scientific, maybe scientific, but a very, the Thoth deck, I think. And I said that in another pile, Thoth, or maybe that was just before your pile even. I think it might have been pile 2. Anyway, that's coming through. Yeah, I'm getting that image strongly. It's of a female presence, Page of Pentacles, where it's like she's connected to, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this justice. Hey, justice, like that card that popped out. She's connected to the abyss, the everything, the darkness, the chaos of life, the void, everything that is unseen, or everything that is seen, just everything blended. I love that image. Everything blended, yes. And she draws from that blendedness and she creates. She's the first, I want to say, like, wobbly life force, life expression. She brings nothing to something. And it's not in the magician way, though, because it's not like a sense of wanting to ground something in particular. It's more like reaching into the unknown and having that reach, having her own arm be the creation that then, like, the chaos draws up her own arm naturally, magnetizingly, in a way that she's not really consciously chosen, but she's enabling with her own vibration, with her own essence, with who she is at a core, the very nature of what she was, like, quote unquote programmed to do. Like a slide is created for children to slide down, or adults to slide down. That's what it does naturally. So what you do naturally, maybe you do resonate with being a slide, because maybe you do draw down energy, but it's in a way where you're not like reaching. It's not the magician. It's not like doing things to draw down a particular vibration. It's your own natural self being the catalyst for grounding chaotic energy into form. It's that you create an alignment in anything that you touch, because that is the the workings of what you are. So what you do is you simply touch. You simply touch and allow that to transform, allow that to ground. Ground into its own frequency, its own nature. Okay, that was super cool. Let's get some of these cards. Which is weird that I'm doing this because I feel like these cards are going to go here. Or this card is going to go here. And there's a gap between. I'm going to shuffle this off camera because... Ooh, doesn't matter. We got our card. Yeah, I feel like, just look at it. It looks to me like, okay, they want me to show the back of the deck too. The other way. Okay, it's upside down. This wants to be shown upside down. This feels like sight within that, within the ocean, within the bubbles of chaotic energy. Again, I noted bubbles in pile 1, I think. I was drawn to the flame, which also Ace of Wands, but the bubbles that the flame creates. And with that being in your reading, for one, it's like that message from the start of you're getting puzzle pieces, but they're not making sense. I didn't actually give an explanation to the fire and to the bubbles that I was being drawn to in pile 1, because it wasn't for pile 1, it was for pile 3. But I still experienced it. And that's what you're experiencing and what you're very much in flow with. Like there wants to be a supportive energy of like congratulating your own and helping you see how well you are already in flow. You're already choosing to recognize the signs that you don't even have a place to put. You don't know what they mean. You listen though. So is there back? No, there's no back to this. So this just felt like that essence of like drawing down all this chaotic energy at the top and it creating a form. I think you might have these piles feels in okay for you the piles before, they didn't feel like they were interlinked. They felt like they were their own thing, but pile 3, I think you yourself feel like you are interlinked with so many others. Because what I wanted to say was I feel like you could have strong clairvoyance, because I keep getting very deep images for you. But, and I said something about clairvoyance with someone else. And that feels like such a message for you. That getting, like, you witnessing other people's messages, other people's alignments is your own alignment. You experiencing worlds that aren't your own is how you experience life. It's making me think of mantid energy, and again we spoke about channeling energy a lot. And did we know that might have even been pile 2? See, I feel like you don't fully have a form, at least what you're experiencing in the expression of your soul as it is, in what you describe as the present. I feel like, maybe in all time, but I'm feeling like saying this is something that you're presently experiencing. It's not an every lifetime, it's just something that you've chosen for like a cluster of lifetimes. A lot of, many clusters, but still not all that you are. But it's that of Weaver of Worlds. It's that of your form, your authentic form, being more of a catalyst for forming others. And with that, it's like you don't fully stay in the same form, because in order to show others themselves, it feels like you become the other. You become a form of that which is being created. Because for you to see any one thing of existence, you become that. You feel that, you experience that. cool. I said I was going to get number cards for pile 2, I think, but I didn't. Actually, the number 44 did come up after I had said that, I think. So I hadn't needed... Yeah, so that's your message here. It's like you may sometimes feel like you know the way forwards. So in this example, you know that there needs to be more numbers. You know that you're going to get a number card. And you're thinking, okay, so I'll use my number deck, right? That feels obvious. But you don't feel drawn to that. And you listen. And then it so happens to be that you find a number card in not an actual card, but in like a freeze motion of a card, a cloning of a number card in another place, or a number card that has a different route. It's come from a different place, but it's still representing the same thing that you were seeking. You just didn't realize that it was actually in another direction. You didn't realize that what you were seeking was what you were seeing that you were seeking, but it was actually an expression of it that you hadn't considered yet. So again, there's a reflecting this to you that you move very intuitively. You always allow yourself to be guided to that which you know you're being guided towards, but don't always need to have the pathway forwards, the pathway there. Okay, so we have transition. Back of the deck is macabre. I'm going to put that up there. Macabre could be a symbol that follows you around, or you may even want to carry one round with you, especially in times where you're intentionally seeking to collaborate outside of yourself, to weave into other expressions, other perspectives of life. So, transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence in our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. I feel like that's something that you do very naturally. You naturally allow change to occur, and I feel like that's something that you really help others with, that transition energy. Integration. The frequency of integration supports our embrace of every aspect of ourselves, allowing what we perceive as positive and what we perceive as negative to harmonize in a balanced symphony of life. Possibly, yes, with that like dark and light, positive, negative. But for you, I'm less seeing it that way, and I'm more seeing it like, or it's more like maybe you already have a clear understanding of that. You already trust that part of yourself, your journey, your knowing. What was I seeing it more like? I think it's that integration energy of you integrate the transition that others experience, and because you do this within yourself so easily, you're able to integrate others' own transitions. It's kind of giving me a sense of you clone what others are going through for them to then copy. It's like you become them and show them, okay, so this is where you're currently at, right? Okay, now watch how I move to where you're wanting to get to. And yeah, it's like a teaching through watching. I don't want to simplify it to that though, because I feel like some of you might take that in a more aligned way for you. So take that as it resonates. Okay, dynamic. I wanted to like breathe in and out there, something potent, or maybe that was just a lot to hear, or is it something about your shoulders then? Now. Something about that word now also, and now I noticed myself kind of tripping over my words there, and there could be a sense of you tripping over something because of how well you do it. Like you didn't realize that this is what you were doing maybe, and that's a revelation for you. Or recognizing that when you trip, it's not because you're less than capable, but it's because of how your capability is expressed. For example, yeah, a really simple example is parts of your body maneuvering in different ways when you're helping certain beings, and perhaps in the past you would have seen that as you not being able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with ease or with grace. But in fact, it was that sense of unease and ungrace was what was being reflected in their energy. Essentially, this is one big, huge empath reading, but using that empathy in a way that is, I guess, empowered, but I kind of wanted a cooler word than that. Okay, then in a cool way, using that empathy coolly. Yeah, I feel like I explained that well. That's the essence. It's, you may question whether you may question your own ability to explain something or your own ability to accomplish certain things, and you may look at you may look at how other people do it more fluidly, or you may look at simply like the possibility of how you see in your mind that it could be done. And there may be a sort of judgment that you have over that, or maybe not even like a harshness. There could be a sense of love and acceptance that you have for the way that you do it, but you may be still feeling like it comes from a certain distortion or a certain like unhealed part of yourself. But the fact is that it's actually to do with just the very makeup of who you are and your ability to really connect with energies. For example, in this reading, I feel very competent, but I don't always feel like that in readings. And that's not because of my own degree of feeling competent. It's the energy I'm tapped into. It's you. You are the ones who feel competent. In essence, I feel like your power isn't your own power. Your power is the power to tap into other people's powers. And with that, the dynamic card flipped over. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin. Yeah, you really take on the different expressions of life from all different layers, from all different origin points, which is that visual I was saying of the 44 card, the numbers, like it not coming from where you thought, and that message came through at the start too. It's not coming from where you thought it was coming from. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. So yeah, that ease, grace, and joy, it comes from the acknowledgement of when things aren't fully feeling graceful. Because with this essence of transition, there's an understanding that there's a chaotic energy that is involved. There's a like disheveled, unheveled. There's a scattering of energy. When there is how do I want to express this? Because I'm seeing it in a particular manner, but I don't think that it's that manner for everyone. Stingrays or manta rays could also be significant for you. Or you may feel really drawn to an animal. You may have a spirit guide that you can see as being a particular shape, like a being, but you've never heard of this being. Or it feels like a creature that you know of, but it's slightly different. This could be simple confirmation for you of that. Or maybe in hearing that, you feel like you are connected to that sort of being, or you feel drawn to connecting to more unique guides of yours or expressions of yourself you've been in different lifetimes that you can connect to now. I feel like there's lots of other beings, other expressions of life who would like to help you, to manage your own process more. And I think that you have a strong ability to wield and to command many energies. And I say command in a sense where you have that strength of understanding the core, the gift of others. You see what others are able to do, and you are therefore able to delegate them. It's not a managing them. You're not like looking over their shoulder, like telling them what to do. It's like you recognize the power in them and you allow them to help you. You allow them to help the experience that's going on. And there's the understanding that while things are being like unthreaded, like say there's a piece of patchwork and you're wanting to change it from its current form as a square to a circle, when you're taking out all the threads, you end up feeling that state of being when the threads aren't woven. So when you're not feeling grace, the grace that you have a grace in flowing through expressions of non-grace. Okay, yeah, that's what I'll say. And I'd say there's such an energy of accomplishment you probably feel once you then do create that circle, because you feel it in your bones. You are that. You really resonate with a deep companionship is what I felt, like a deep resonance, a deep love, a deep unity with everything that you co-create, with everything that you experience in relation with, everything that you work alongside with, heal, help, discover, and so on and so forth. Okay. So the numbers there are 43, 30, and 23. 7, 3, and 5. Okay. That might be it for your reading. I feel like I want to get one there. Shall we use the number deck? Let's do it. It's a small deck which feels like it could fit that. I looked at 222. The bottom cards keep wanting to like move around for you. I feel like I haven't honed in on the message there, maybe. No, I'm hearing it's more about the groundwork always being like unsteady for you. Some of you may feel like you don't know who you are quite, and that's the point. Like that is who you are, at least again in this like cluster of lifetimes. You are always changing the groundwork. You're always maneuvering around. You're always creating like pathways for new energies to come in and out. You might really have a strong resonance with biology. I just saw how some cells work, like opening and closing doors to let in and out stuff. I don't know biology well enough to explain or remember what the process exactly I was seeing was, but there's a deliberate allowance of structure to not be solid for you. I want to show you again the Page of Pentacles though. It's like you have a less than solid structure, and that is what enables you to solidify others' structures so well. Because again, I want to remind you of that image of you becoming that structure. So your own structure must be mutable in order to become a temporary version of their structure. Okay, any number cards for pile number 3, the cool tiger's eye. Oh yeah, I started off this reading by saying like the tiger's eye was red and black, I think I said. 10. It kind of came backwards. It's like a backwards egg. And notice how it's an egg birth, but there's like a part that can bring in energies and also expel energies. I'm gonna leave that upright for you. So it could be 0, 1 also. You could really resonate with the numbers 0 and 1. What's that word? Which means on their own. Respectively. That's it. Also 147. I really, really, really feel that number for you. 147. 147. It feels like manted energy. And the way I want to express that is creation behind the scenes. And it's not behind, it's not under, it's like in between. But I don't quite like that. I like behind the scenes more. Yeah, so this could be something that not a lot of people get to understand the workings of. They might not fully understand how you do what you do. Maybe you don't fully understand how you do what you do. Maybe you do. But I like that because it's going from 0 to 1, which feels, again, to reiterate, you drawing into chaos and creating a form. You may really resonate with the card Page of Pentacles, or you may find that popping up. When we're talking about this energy, you may, like when other people or when you experience this energy outside of yourself again, when you're reminded of this, it might be through Page of Pentacles. Okay. I think I'll leave your reading there. Pile 3. Very cool reading. I will see you in another if I do, and I'll see you in chaos if not. Bye bye. It's interesting. I'm wanting to, as if I didn't already do it. Interesting. It's like I'm speaking as if I'm future self, as opposed to present self or past self. I took your crystal and put it away before I put the cards away for you, and usually I put the cards away and then put the crystal away. So that is you, I think. That's how you operate. You operate as the opposite. You operate as, like, you take away the foundation before you take away everything on top. So you might also resonate with being like a walking tower moment for others, in that you really uncover the core of them. It's kind of giving me an image of someone who like has so many clients that in order to fit them all in and give them the, like, help them get to the root that they're wanting to get to, it's like you don't have time to, and time being there, that's funny, it's like you don't have time to walk them through anything, like taking a very long time. Take this as it resonates, by the way. So it's like you, instead of spending lots of time with them, like in a gentle sense, you walk in and you point to their core, and that shatters everything of their foundation, and then it's like the real them is formed, the real them is created, and then you leave. There's no like dwindling like you get to business. And I don't think it's even like in a harsh way. I think it's just that's who you are. Canis Major could be significant. Serious? No, Cetus. Let's keep him out for another pile. Another pile, as if it's not pile 4 in particular. If I happen to do another pile. Actually, I kind of want numbers too. I'm curious for pile 4. I've got everything prepared. Look at me all prepared. Prepared. You may help others prepare too. But I don't like saying that because where is my water? Oh, there it is. I don't know. That expression, that phrase, you may help others prepare. I love it. It's just like, if you take that on a very surface level, it might sound dull. Maybe others also can perceive it as dull. However, the truth of it is, like, getting to the root of it and being drawn back to that biology expression. It's changing something at a very core level. A very foundational level. So much about foundation. So much about foundation. I might write that word down if I was not you. Because you have too much of the chaotic energy that it wouldn't be right for you to write the word foundational down. You might write the word foundational down inside of every relationship that you have, but you never keep that for yourself. But it's like you put a number, a random intuitive number on each sheet that you give to everyone. And then at the end of your life, you bring down, you write down all of, or you just see, all the numbers of all those intuitive numbers that you wrote down for everyone else. And you realize that that spelled out the exact formulation, the exact formula of you in that lifetime. You were everyone that you touched, everything that you saw, that was you. Oh, such a cool energy. What time are we on? 2 minutes 32:26. Cool. Let's revamp. Get back into pile 4. Interesting. Okay. Welcome in, pile 4. There's something of a cozy yet impactful energy that you have. Cozy yet impactful. Interesting. I feel like, oh yeah, love that. You have the amethyst, which is third eye and crown, but you also have so much green within it, which is like that energy of cozy and yet seeing. I feel like you might be someone who is misperceived a lot because you may be very openly intuitive or openly expressive. It might not always be seen as like with the sort of impact that it truly has. Because what I'm getting from that like coziness vibe is because you have so much of your heart interlinked with your words, with all this blue, feels like communication. It feels like you can be overlooked, you can be felt more than heard. So it's almost like you have such a cozy aura that people end up falling asleep within your your energy, that they don't always fully hear what you're saying. Okay. But it's not necessarily that they don't hear what you're saying, it's just more that the amount of warmth other people feel from, I think it might be from your expression, from what you see. Because okay, that's the thing. I think that there's a general sense of splitness that other people perceive you with. They don't always see that it's what you're saying, or maybe this is what you experience too, and this misunderstanding of yourself, that, but I'm going to say it as others, so take it as yourself too if that applies. I think they don't always see that it's your words that are comforting, not necessarily that's just the kind of person that you are. I think they're interlinked, but I think there's more to what you say than people often perceive with you. Like when someone thinks of, okay, who is pile 4, okay, I got immediately taken to the words though. But I thought it was going to be that I was going to be taken to, oh, they're just such a nice person. They're so warm. They're so loving. Like, I feel so good with their energy. I'm really, really, really being drawn to the clouds. They feel like true clouds. So there might be a sense of, like, authentic, higher connection. You might be really perceived as someone who has a creative, not quite vision. I don't know how to explain this. It's kind of like you live in the clouds. You live in a sort of dream world. You might be a storyteller or an artist who takes their work very seriously. And by seriously, I kind of just mean you always have a foot in that world, or that story, or that realm. Birds could be really significant for you. Let's get more bird cards for you, actually. No, I'm being told no. Okay, which cards? These ones. Okay, dragons are close enough to birds. It's like you're something of a misfit, yet you don't express the energy that is so often associated with that. And you can take that with many different things. Like, you may be associated as a blank, or you may be a blank, but you're not really associated in that category because you don't fit you don't fit maybe the baggage that most people with that label would come with. So it's like, oh, so that must mean you're not a part of that category. But it's like, no, you are a part of that category. Just you kind of maybe embody more of the authenticity of that category, as opposed to being in that category from ill health, is what I'm getting. Like, for example, you could be really direct or really harsh with your words. However, and it's not that you're not harsh, it's not that you're not blunt, but it doesn't ever come, or it doesn't come from like a painful place, and so it's never really perceived as harshness, but you still do fit in that category of harshness. Hey, look, there's a blue jay and a crow or raven. More birds. What was I saying? Yeah, it's just that it's experienced in such a unique, it's experienced in such a kind, loving way that it really changes people's understanding of the truth of what it really is. Okay. So, dusty, or dusky. Something about dusty could be significant, or keys. Dusky pink dragon from Andromeda prepares all your chakras to embody higher love. Yeah. Accept and radiate higher love. Touch others with its flame. Sunshine yellow dragon. Some of you might have a pet bird also that really helps you to communicate, or it's like a shaman of sorts, or it knows more than other people think that it knows, and you know that it knows that much. You might have a really special bird friend. Yeah, I love that. Some of you also, this could be a bird friend in spirit. But for a lot of you, I was sensing that was, or for those that message was for, I was seeing a specific bird, like a specific bird that others also have seen you around, something of this sort. You could also take that word bird to be expressed in another way if that fits for you. Okay, I'm going to maneuver around then, we'll continue. Oh. I think that's why. There might be a message in the collective at the start for you, pile 0, because as I maneuvered around, I kind of sat on a bird carving, so I'll keep him out for you too. And he was out. Yes, look, this is what I did for pile 0, except I did it with the lapis lazuli. So instead of the third eye that you're taking under your wing, it's the crown and heart. So that is a message for those of you that resonate with that. You might not trust yourself to fully ground into something. Let's get a card on what that is. There's like a sense of like not fully feeling at ease, even though the environment feels very trustworthy or like you are at ease. So what's the like problem or mishandling? 3 of Pentacles. What's the like misunderstanding or the miss something? Okay. 7 of Wands at the back. Yeah, okay, that's what I'm feeling. It's a protective energy. I'll finish reading Sunshine Yellow Dragon. Yellow. I think there's something about your own sense of confidence being brought into questioning. Helps you okay, I try to say understand. Helps you to help animals. I think that's more significant than I was gonna say. Continue saying it was. Okay, there's a message in that. Then it's more significant than I was going to continue saying that it was. So some of you are downplaying your own. I think it could be to do with communication for you, but maybe more about what you know. Yeah. You may be downplaying what you know. I think for a lot of you, this could be your connection to animals. You downplay your understanding of others who can't speak for themselves, or others who speak for themselves in ways that not everyone appreciates or not everyone hears, understands. Helps you to help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. So the difficulty is 3 of Pentacles, High Priestess, and Chariot. I think you feel called to act based off what you see, based off what you know and perceive. And I think that there could be others who don't trust you, don't trust that you have what it takes, and their mistrust of you, because they don't have the same connection that you do to, I'm thinking animals, but substitute that if that's not fitting. It's the clouds energy, I think. That which you have that like 1 foot in always correlation to. Because you don't fully trust your own connection, your own knowing, understanding, burp a couple times then, of them. I think that ripples into others not being able to fully ground too. So I think that you might fear being assertive. 6 of Pentacles. 2 of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. Do you need them? That's my question. I'm going to sit in your energy for a moment, because it feels like you are you're in a collaboration of sorts, or you're about to be, but there's an issue with how much you trust yourself, your own confidence in your connection to your animal of choice. And I think that comes from something of a lack of trust in others. Like, they don't see what you see. I'm being drawn back to that example I saw of like someone having a bird, and the bird was very powerful, and they could see that power. You could see the power in what the bird was saying, and you could express that. But then the like friend or the someone else, they had a more harsh energy. They came into the room, and they kind of laughed at it, or it's not even laughter, maybe for some of you, but there's a little bit of a serious tone. It makes me think this is a workspace, or maybe just simply a serious friend of sorts, or family member. It's like they didn't believe you, and they might have mocked you, or put the animal down, like made fun of the animal. But then again, that could be creation, made fun of the other. Okay. Shall we just get the guidance? No, we want the situation, because that is the guidance. Okay. Yeah, I want to say it again. They don't see what you see. And I think that I think this reading for you is just going to be a confirmation of what you see, so that you know that you're not crazy. Coyote. Yeah, there is, you see the truth, and you also know that there are others who don't see that truth. I think there's a deceptive being around you who I'm getting like, who's whispering in your ear things that aren't true, and you know they're not true. But it's still like, it takes a bit for you to like wipe away what they're saying. Or you may feel like you don't have the right to speak up for yourself, and to that I'd ask why. And for some of you, I would ask again, why? Or really, are you, like, some of you might feel like you listen, I think you listen too much. It's like, that makes sense to me, because it feels like you'd have to have a very listening spirit in order to really understand what's coming through as animals. I love that this, for some of you, this isn't like someone or something you typically call an animal. But anyway, I'm gonna keep saying animal. Yeah, it's like for some of you, it's like the spirit of a creation. It's like you really understand the spirit of a creation, and they may not. My fingers want to do like a chopping sensation. Cut that shit. Yeah, the coyote, it's the ears that keep being in the shadow. And it's making me think of two things. It's making me think of, one, the reason why they can't understand this the way that you do is because they're not listening. And the reason, and also the guidance for you is to not listen. It's like you're being asked to swap with them. Like, what they're doing that's annoying you, you might be being called into, and what you're doing that's annoying them might be what they're being called into. Which is to say, you listening less and them listening more. I think that's a simple reading. For some of you, if you feel clear now, I might suggest that you leave. but I will continue with the reading. But some of you just might not feel like that, so that's your confirmation. If you wish to go, so farewell, I love you, see you in another if I do, or not if I don't. Okay. Yeah, I'm already wanting to like pack away. Cleansed and ready. Question is, do I pack away? No, we'll keep this spread out a bit. I want to see if there are any number cards that want to come through first and foremost. 50. Only that one though, please. Thanks. The way I said that, it really felt like I was in collaboration with the cards, or in collaboration with that which is not often collaborated with. 50. 50 makes me think of Halfway There. I'm hearing a song, I think it's called 50%. It's a Japanese song. I don't remember what the band is called. Okay, that's there for those of you who got something from that. So 50%. 50%. That sounded like something else. Percento. Sounded like placenta is what I'm hearing now. 88. Power. And I skipped to 26, which goes to 8 also. Placenta. Yeah, actually what I'm getting from that, I think there's a lot to that, but what it's making me think of is how some people eat the placenta, right? And okay, one thing I'm getting from that is like a huge do they? And that's in correlation with that, like with an energy of like, no, I don't want to touch that. Like some are really inviting of it and some just get away, please, no thank you. 50%. Yeah, half and half. It's making me think like this bird, this animal, I think is either loved or hated. It's like it's in the middle. You may also, it could also be a message of you feeling on the fence, or maybe them, that harsh one, feeling on the fence. And okay, what? No, we don't want the guidance. The guidance is simply the truth. I think you know your situation well already. I think it just needed you to... I think it helped you to hear it aloud, because it brought more of your awareness to the truth of what you see that they don't. Maybe that was harder to fully rationalize in your mind without hearing it, I guess, from someone else's perspective, or just concisely, just hearing it full stop. You might find that writing or expressing your whole situation aloud, or just grounding it in some sense, could help you. Not in like any way where you actually have to like figure anything out. It's simply like what is happening. Because I feel like you might be one who is particularly in their feminine energy. So you might fall into like a receptive essence of flow, where you can get maybe easily wrapped up in an energy as opposed to viewing it objectively, which I think that objective viewing would help. Because also this could be to do with that other, the choppy, the coyote, I'm gonna say. The coyote could be someone who's very close to you, that you have a lot of love for, and that could be causing a bit of distortion in how you view them, because it might be more it might be something that you find like like you're tapped into the heart more and the love that you have for them, as opposed to being able to see that they are being more illogical or non-loving. Let's get some cards on them, the choppy choppy. Okay, and then maybe cards on the bird, we'll see. And cards on you maybe. Again, we shall see. Which deck do I want this deck. So the choppy choppy, the coyote. What energy are they in? Masculine. Yes. Again, this is reiterating, I think, that sense of you're being called into their energy and they're being called into yours. Like they probably, yeah, green nymph, love, compassion. I feel like that's your energy. I feel like they are being called to have more compassion and understanding regardless of the facts, regardless of what they see. They're being called into a more unconditional love that you already have, but I feel like you're being called into the essence they have, which is of more rigidity. It's more fixed. It's more, actually, no, the truth is, this is the truth. It's standing your ground more. It's feeling more confident in what you see, in what you perceive, confident in your way, possibly vocal in your way. Let's get I keep wanting to get like, okay, what's the guidance for you? But I then immediately get drawn back to, no, it's not about finding the guidance. It's not about finding the step forward or the solution. It's simply about seeing what is. So I think that, again, is the essence that you're in. It's maybe hard for you to see what is. You might find yourself, again, with those clouds, like getting swept up in the crowds. Okay, maybe in the crowds, maybe what other people are experiencing. You may resonate with being very empathic, so you really meld to others, and what you're being drawn into is back into yourself, back into your own knowing, back into just simply seeing the truths. It's seeing the circumstances more bluntly, more objectively, perhaps. Yeah, seeing the truth of where they're at and where you're at, like where everyone is coming from. Some of you might resonate with feeling a sense of relief when you accept that they, however much you love them, aren't coming from love. When you accept that they are disillusioned, or when you accept that they don't see what you see, that they are somewhat closed off, that they are somewhat rigid in their energy. I think it's something that maybe you found hard to accept, but that when you do accept it, it brings a huge relief, because that's the truth. Truth is always the most relieving, even if it has somewhat of a difficulty in getting there, or even if there's like chaos or conflict that arises from the truth is always so grounding and so relieving, so aligned with love. It always feels the best. Even if there's stuff that doesn't feel good surrounding it that prop up because of it. And it feels like perhaps this masculine energy is afraid of that conflict, afraid of what comes surrounding it. And they might have a fixation on that. And so to them it might seem illogical to listen. But you listen because that's the truth. Because you can see beyond the squaggles of the conflict that arise surrounding it, and you know how you feel, you know the center, you know what you hear. Because I'm seeing this green nymph, these look like ears too, and I was being drawn to the ears of the coyote. So listening, what you literally hear, could be clairaudience, like hearing the unseen. You hear what is, it's like you hear the truth in that which is not always expressed in a maybe mundane sense, or maybe a lower frequency sense. It's like, yes, the lower frequency is heard, but you hear the higher frequency too. You listen. I really want to keep saying that. Any sacred geometry cards for you? Empowerment. Yeah, that's the 88 number that came up. And yeah, this is 2 + 6 = 8. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. I think it's your empowerment in seeing that and seeing the way that you are maneuvering. It's like a trust, which is to say masculine energy, of your trust, of your feminine energy. Really recognizing who you are and why you want what you want, or why you believe what you believe, or why you want to create from a certain expression, or why you want to collaborate with certain beings, why you do collaborate with this bird, or why you want to move towards a collaboration with that which you see, that which you intuitively see, perhaps. Yeah, I'm gonna end that reading on empowerment in what you see, bringing the masculine to your feminine, in that sense of self-confidence, confidence in your way, confidence that your way is loving, that yours is the way of love. Yeah, and authority at the back, those are like the same. Empowerment and authority, and suddenly it's starting to rain. Yeah. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And I think you already had the receptive, wise, and loving, and you're now choosing to really step in on that, really find power in that you are receptive, wise, and loving, and you're going to be powerful, directed, and realized in that. And maybe a part of that is understanding that those surrounding you, or maybe someone in particular, is not. Maybe they are powerful, directed, and realized, but perhaps they are not receptive, wise, and loving. That doesn't mean like in all areas of life, and it doesn't mean that you can't love them, or that you need to not be around them, but it simply does mean that maybe to do with this bird, they shouldn't have so much of a say in it, or regardless of how they impact the relationship of you and that bird, there is a sense of I feel like there's a sense of you getting to choose what that impact is. You getting to put your foot down where it matters. I want to say it again, you trusting that you are experiencing a deep sense of love, and that is to be protected, that is to be what's another word than protective? Protected. From that I got a sense of like going after that energy, leaning into that energy, continuing that collaboration between you and the bird, really listening to the bird, because the first message was that you know that this bird is wise, or you know that they have had something very powerful, and not allowing outside influences to distort that, I kind of feel like to create chaos where chaos is not welcomed. I would like to get an animal card for you. a large animal card. I have 3 animal decks because I love animals. And if we count like random creatures, then I have 4. Humans are a part of this deck. Apparently humans are random creatures. Okay. Whoa. Okay, that's so interesting. Why? That's kind of what I feel. I feel like they might be like the coyote, the masculine, might be like causing a mess, and I think that your response is kind of like, but why? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you maybe throwing a fit? Or why aren't you listening? Why don't you hear it? Why don't you flow with love the way that I flow with love? I feel like that's what you're feeling. Because I actually don't want to get an animal card, but I think that was a strong message. Again, I want to say I feel like they're causing chaos where chaos is not welcome. They're causing a mess. It doesn't feel loving. It feels like my heart is like wanting to cry, because it's like I feel like you love them, but you do not like what they're doing. You do not like where they're coming from. And I'm wanting to say, like, why again in your energy? Like, why must you be this way? And I think there's a sense of you feeling like, why are you making me put my foot down? Why do I have to go against you? Or why do I have to stand like stand my ground? Why do I have to be extra strong, extra, I heard cruel. You might feel like being in authority is a sense of cruel energy. I think you don't like the feeling of standing up to them because they don't like that feeling. I don't think it's necessarily that you don't like that feeling of being masculine, but I think again, reiterating the same thing, I think that I think they trigger your own unsureness of whether it's really okay for you to stand your own ground, to trust what you hear, trust what you feel, trust what you know. Your own masculine energy may have been at odds in childhood. Maybe they are a mirror, or maybe they're the same being, of a mirror of parents or those who took care of you, who may have been overly domineering in a sense that they didn't like it when you showed your own sense of power, because they liked being able to control you. So when you take control now, that might trigger that fear of, oh no, I'm going to be told off, or whatever happened in childhood when they perhaps threatened their connection to you, or threatened a sense of how deserving of love you were. So bringing awareness to how that might be a fear that you have from childhood that is actually not relevant, where it's actually just an opportunity for you to show yourself that you can always support yourself, and that how do I express this? I kind of want help. Discernment. I will bring that up actually. I think that's helpful. Discernment. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Yeah, I really do think this is someone that you find hard to see clearly because of perhaps your close connection with them or your love for them. Yeah, even if this isn't someone that is family or someone that you just really love dearly, there is a sense that you do love them dearly. Whether they're a stranger or not, you really care for them. And I think that makes it harder for you to stand your ground or detach from them. Because I think this is calling for a sense of detachment where you're not the cookie cutter version of yourself that they might want you to be. You have more of your own solidity. They might have liked making your decisions for you, or they again might mirror someone who liked to do this. Yeah, there's a sense of coming back to your own inner authority and realizing that it's okay for you to stand your ground in your belief in this bird, or your own view of life, or the way that you want to live, the way that you want to perceive. And it's more than just perceiving. This is feeling with the Chariot card, like acting on those perceptions. Okay, I feel like we've got it all, but it feels a bit glumpled. I'm going to clear the table and then we might get a couple cards that have a more definitive energy, or that help to, I don't know, ground something that feels kind of wonky. Oh, these bird cards are really hard to get back in. They went in so smoothly with the other piles. Do they not want to? Looking at Bluetit and Nuthatch, their symbolisms. Oh, it's a combination of the throat chakra and the solar plexus and white and black. So it's like what you sense and what the purity in what you sense and the ability to express that with confidence. Oh, okay, that was kind of clever. I like the way that came through. Okay. And the way I was saying that, it was egotistical, but not in a negative sense. It was just that I was expressing how I felt. I was expressing the truth of my perception of what I had just experienced, what I had just seen. In other words, it's that essence of having confidence in your expression. Let's get a few more tarot cards, I think. The Devil wants to pop up, which is feeling restricted, is feeling controlled. It's feeling like you can't escape from someone else's or something else's tethers. I'm being drawn to the color purple again. You see. Yeah, I'm being brought into like a firmness, a confidence. But I'm also really I'm looking at all of my plants, but the greenness of them. On the left, I even have a plant that is yellow and green. You know what? I'm going to bring him in. You might even want to screenshot him, if you so desire. Yellow and green. Confidence in your love. Expressing with confidence. It's not even expressing. I feel like for some of you this is a conversation. Maybe for a lot of you it's a conversation, but I think it also could be something where it's like the actions you take then leads to someone maybe having things to say to you, and they might not be nice things. And then it's about holding your ground, still not being deterred from your path, from that beautiful connection that you do feel with the bird. The Hermit. Okay, it wants to be reversed. The Hermit in reverse. It's actually kind of making me think of someone who is being called to solitude, someone who has a lot of wisdom, someone who's feeling like being internal, but who is like being dragged outside. Like they're not in hermit mode when they want to be. In other words, it's feeling like you on your own have a lot of wisdom. You know what you see, you know what you feel, you know where you're going, you know. That's what I want to say, you know. But it being in reverse is kind of like not trusting that, not leaning on the wise counsel, which is yourself. There's a sense of like going to others when it's feeling like involving more than needs to be involved. This is about you, not about them. With King of Wands at the back, it's really about being your own leader, being the authority in your own life. What is another way of expressing this? Because I feel like I'm saying the same things. There's a small message there. Some of you may be waiting for the coyote, the other, to say different things, or you may have a sense of like hoping that they'll somehow change their mind, but they came through in a fixed energy. They come through in a way that I don't think they want to. I don't think that they feel open to listening. I think that they already know what they think, and even if they change what they say, I think it would be more from a sense of manipulating to get you to change, or to get their point across, or to not in a sense of like collaborating, trying to understand one another. I think they feel one-sided. It feels like a parent. I want to say very simply, they don't control you. But they may do if you choose that to be. But even in that, even in giving your power to someone else to control you, that is you doing that power, you choosing that. You never lose your own control. Again, this wants to be in reverse. 8 of Wands. I think there are opportunities that you want to pounce on, but this sense of not listening to your own inner guidance, what you feel drawn towards, is causing a lack of expansion. It's causing doors to feel closed, doors to be closed, because you feel as though you need to only be opening or walking down the corridors that have been chosen for you, as opposed to the corridors that you feel called towards. Because this isn't even giving me a sense of not knowing which corridors you want to walk down. This feels to me like you know where you want to walk, and feel not supported in that. But with this Ace of Wands, it's like there's so much support that wants to come through for you, but it's your choice to choose to walk that path that would be supportive of this. It's your choice to open the doors down those pathways of support. What would truly be supportive. And I kind of want to say for yourself and others. Empress. I think it's your, there's something to do with your craft or something to do with nurturing energy, what nurtures you. I think you're very connected to perhaps a more artistic way of living. This is Ten of Pentacles on the back of the deck. There's something long term that you can see your bird and you being able to create. It's like the Empress being upright is like you have never lost that creativity. You already know what you want. It's something that is abundant, and I want to say it's like it's already abundant. You know this. It's not something that you're like wavering on. You already know that this is abundant, but it's whether you're like allowing that abundance to leave the cave it's in is another question. And I like phrasing it that way because it's a question. It's not something that has been it's not been given the answer yet. You still get to choose. And I want to say you always do. Some of you may feel like that's not completely true, but there's a sense of even if this is a specific opportunity, the same sort of opportunity will keep showing itself to you in your life because this is something that is connected to your heart, your soul, to what you want to experience. And even if it's a continual no, it will continue to knock on your door because it's something you love. It's a part of yourself. It's not actually something outside of yourself knocking on your door. It's a part of yourself within that's asking to be acknowledged, that's asking to be loved, asking to have the door open for them. It's a part of yourself. And yes, again, it may express itself in wonderful outside external ways, but more than that, this is about you and that feeling, the feeling. Like, why are you called to this in the first place? There's a part of you that is in resonance with it. And that's what that door is really being called to be open towards. And that's what that other person, that coyote, the masculine essence, it doesn't actually have to be a male. That's what the masculine coyote doesn't love, doesn't accept. Yes, maybe an external experience, but more than that, it's a part of themselves that they then reject outside of themselves, that they reject in you. That probably you got rejected in childhood too. I want to say for anyone who resonates, this could be something that's passed on throughout your blood lineages. Something that has been repressed that you don't want to repress. That you don't want to repress so much that it's coming through in a reading for you. And that you continued listening to. Because you already know that this is something that you want. A part of yourself that you want to say yes to. I want to say that again. A part of yourself that you want to say yes to. With that, I relieved something in my shoulders there. I think you let go of the distortion, because I think, like we were saying earlier, it was never about me trying to give you the guidance, because the guidance was always the truth. So I think there could have been something strong about that ancestral. This has come from being passed down in the sense of repression of self, this part of the self being non-acknowledged, not allowed to be. And I think that was all it took for you to allow it to be. The vision of it, the sight of it, the understanding of what that was, of what was going on, the understanding that this was a repression of this part of yourself. Because right now you feel so much more open to it. This wanted to do like a... I'm seeing Wallace and Gromit again. I saw that in pile 1. Familiar! Anyone from pile 1? I'm pretty sure it was pile 1. The cat Familiar. Ah, that's beautiful. Why is that coming up now? Anyway, what I'm seeing is in Wallace and Gromit when they go to the moon and Gromit is building towers with cards. You're going to the moon? I don't see more of a message in that, but maybe that just no, it's not just that, it's that and more. But part of that was bringing me to that word familiar, which it was a word that I couldn't think of in pile 1. Yeah, I love that. I just split 2. Oh, we love that. Gotta love that. I'm gonna bring those through. And temperance. Okay, if you wanna. Coming to peace, temperance, coming to a sense of well-being that comes from being that own authority figure in your own life. Being the one that gets to call the shots. And going after that which you're passionate about. That which you feel a fullness with. Which is your star, your north node. And it's that essence again of the star was always going to shine for you. It was just whether you followed it or not, whether you made it your north star or not. There was always going to be a star that shined the brightest. And it was just a question of which star did you choose to follow. The star that, or the choice of stars that was handed to you on a blueprint from your family, that was passed on, like, okay, these are the types of stars that we follow. And with this King of Wands, he's like, I will rip up this stupid blueprint and create the blueprint that I really want. Actually, there's no blueprint. I can see it. I can look up. I see it in the sky. I'm not looking after... Yeah, I'm not looking for a blueprint. I'm looking for the real deal. I'm looking for the real light. I'm not trying to select something based on these conditions. I'm trying to search for something in particular, something that shines to me, something that glows within my heart when I look at it. Something I feel drawn towards, something that feels destined for me because of how much I feel like it. Because of how much I feel like we fit together. Something that feels mine. I want it to be mine. And I'm choosing for it to be mine. I feel like it almost brings a health and harmony to your body that, yeah, okay, that just feels like it's healing those the body. It's healing your body to be open to that which isn't of that old blueprint. It's transforming the old blueprint that used to be your body. It's transforming your body to be receptive to to the star that you always felt somewhere within yourself, that you always felt a magnetic draw towards, whether you were conscious of that or not. Whether you were conscious of that or not, you are now. Oh, I love that way of positioning them. You've come into your own. Okay, that's what I'm going to leave it on. I love you so much, pile number 4. I stretchy now. I stretchy. These have been a fun collection of readings. I want to say again, I love you, pile 4. I'll see you if I see you, and if not, then I'll see you in another form. I'll see you in source. See you at home. Bye bye.